So hi there, I'm Abby at Abby's Den. Now I'm making a Tilly and the Buttons Bettine dress. Now I want to redo the neckline because I don't actually like the scoop neckline that's on there. I feel it's too wide and quite low. I haven't made it yet. So what I'm going to do in this video is redo a new neckline, and I'm going to share that information with you on how. So here's the back panel piece, and there you can see, so the shape of the pattern squares off, but I don't like the square shape. So here's the front. Now if I just shift the pattern slightly out, you can see that this center fold goes all the way up. So where that neck should start, I've just gone straight up, and where the shoulder is, I've just gone straight across, and I've just squared off because I am actually going to do a design again. So we want to find a piece of interfacing that covers the whole of our neckline design. Okay, so not this neckline area, but actually our whole design. So I've got quite a big piece here, and I'm going to set it in place so that it doesn't go past my pattern piece there, and that becomes my center front, and it's going to meet at the shoulder. Okay. And I'll mark that there. That's my shoulder line there, and that's where it meets up to our centre front, so I'll put centre front there. So I'm just going to draw my neckline here, and you can see I'm staying within the Tilly and the Buttons neckline neck because it's quite wide and quite deep. And I've given myself an almost comb V-neck sweetheart type neckline design. So we're going to interface that. So I've allowed there 1.5 inches, so about 1.5 inches, 2 inches width on the interfacing, and that's going to go around the neckline and give it some support and some stability, and I can top stitch that. So follow the line and be very careful because this is the actual shape that you want. So there's no room for making mistakes now, and it's going to be symmetrical. Okay. Let's now press this onto a piece of fabric. So grab an ironing mat and the iron and a scrap of cloth. So I've laid my leftover fabric face down onto my ironing mat, and I'm going to lay the interfacing for my neckline onto the wrong side of the fabric with the ironing face down. So now what you want to do is you want to leave a centimetre border around the outside of the design, and that's what I'm doing here. What I will do is fold that into the facing and just edge it and give it a nice neat finish, and just give a notch to the centre of the top of the piece of fabric with the facing on. And there you go, a nicely neat finished facing. So once you've set up your facing, let's bring in our front panel piece. Lay your facing on the front. Now I cut a notch at the centre of my facing and on the front panel piece. Just snip away those extra threads. And then when you've laid that down, just pin it into place. And then what we'll do is we'll sew a nice neat line down the centre front of that crease of the facing and join it to the front bodice piece. do this line of stitching using a long stitch, so it's a basting stitch. It's going to be removed shortly, and just watch for pins. So the purpose of this is just to hold our facing exactly in the centre of our front panel piece. So we're going to follow this curve round, and we're going to sew accurately along our facing shape. So back to a regular stitch on this, and let's go. So I'm just going to cut around the inside of this facing now, and you can see that I don't need that center stitch, so I could remove it, but just going to cut around there, and when we get to the point, just cut into the point. And just continue for the rest of the facing till we get round back to the top. It's not very neat, but it's going to be folded over and underneath. Just take this center stitch away, the basting stitch that we've installed at the start. So let's just press this neckline now before we top stitch. This top stitching is optional. If you want to hand stitch it into place, do that, because it will give you an invisible finish. Because it's a casual dress, I'm just going to do a top stitch finish on there, and it will look fine. Right, let's work on the back piece. So lay your back panel out, and do you remember that curve we've got for the neckline? I've just given myself a strip of fabric. Now, because it's stretch, it doesn't matter if it's on the bias or not. Just making sure it's long enough, and I've added a length extra going across. I'm just going to sew along the edge of the curve of the neckline, along the edge of this straight piece of extra fabric. So once you've sewn the strip on, let's just clip our edge just so that we can follow that curve round. If we don't clip, we'll lose that curve, and I'm just pressing it into place here, as you can see, just a dab of steam there, and get that curve back. Just fold over that strip one more time and press that into place. And then we're going to just top stitch that into place. Again, if you want to, you can just hand stitch this down. So as per the pattern tells us, lay the front piece onto the back, good sides together, and we will join the shoulders as per instruction. Don't forget to subscribe and like, comment below if this video's helped you, and we'll make some more videos like this. Enjoy.